Sniper spotted a landmine but pretended not to notice and stepped over it. As a result, the teammate behind him stepped right on it. Frozen with fear at the pressure-activated mine underfoot, the teammate kept pleading with the sniper for help, but the sniper drew his pistol, warning him not to make any sudden moves, then slowly walked away, leaving behind the teammate who had once oppressed him. The sniper then went alone to hunt the US Navigator. Meanwhile, the Navigator was already surrounded by a large number of armed men. He had no time to think and began a desperate escape. Unfamiliar with the terrain, he couldn't shake his pursuers. As he was about to be caught, he stumbled into a large pit. When the armed men arrived, they couldn't find any trace of him. The stench in the pit forced them to abandon the search. By a stroke of luck, the Navigator survived. He climbed out of the stone pit and spent the night hiding on a cliff. The next day, he continued moving toward the designated extraction point. Along the way, he passed an abandoned factory. After carefully checking and confirming there were no enemies, he prepared to move quickly, but after only a few steps, he realized the floor was riddled with booby traps. While hesitating, the armed men caught up, and he had no choice but to dodge the traps and run. The enemies fired behind him, accidentally triggering one of the booby traps. In a life-or-death moment, the Navigator pushed his limits, successfully escaping the blast zone. By the time the sniper arrived, the Navigator had reached the extraction point and was contacting headquarters via radio, but the captain ordered him to run another 5 kilometers to the safest pickup location. Reluctantly, the Navigator agreed. As the captain laid out the tactics, the commander arrived on the scene and handed over the rescue mission to the French. The captain dared not refuse and had to comply. Since they couldn't catch the Navigator, the military claimed on television. They said they had captured 2 pilots who violated the no-fly zone. The commander was misled by this false information. To avoid conflict, he canceled the rescue operation and ordered the helicopters back to base. When the Navigator reached the extraction point, he saw the helicopter turning away. He frantically fired shots into the air for help but got no response. In despair, he noticed a sculpture on a nearby hill. He remembered it was the very spot where he had crashed. He immediately climbed the hilltop, found the ejection seat, and repaired the locator transmitter. At that time, the aircraft carrier received the signal. The captain concluded the Navigator was still alive and decided to ignore the commander, personally leading the rescue. 3 helicopters quickly took off from the deck, heading for the crash site. At the same time, the sniper pursuing the Navigator also arrived. Looking through his scope, he saw nothing, so he approached for a closer look. Unexpectedly, it was a trap. The Navigator suddenly emerged from the snow, taking out the sniper and avenging his comrades. The gunfire attracted the enemy's main force. Tanks and armored vehicles launched an attack on the Navigator. In a critical moment, the rescue team arrived just in time. The Navigator grabbed the rescuer's arm and successfully boarded the helicopter to escape.